Hello, it's Elaine, Farm Family Coach, coming to you with another episode of the Farm Family Harmony podcast. Today I want to talk about procrastination, and many of my audiences will have heard me many times say procrastination is killing agriculture, as well as conflict avoidance. And these things are kind of tied together. So when I checked about the definition of procrastination, it's delaying or avoiding a response. And many of you are delaying and avoiding having hard conversations about the future of your farm, the future of your family, where you're going to live, what your income stream is going to be, and how are you going to be fair to your non-farm heirs. So depression and anxiety are common, unfortunately, in farm families right now. It's suspected that 75% of farmers are suffering some degree of a level of anxiety and depression, which is actually fueling the procrastination. So my first point of help would be get to the doctor. Find out if there's a physical reason why you're feeling so sluggish and not wanting to make and focus on some of these more difficult conversations and decisions. Procrastination happens because you're afraid of opening up Pandora's box. And if you say something wrong, what's the other person going to do? And if you've had a lot of drama on your farm, you need to just capture the phrase, just because there's drama doesn't mean you have to attend the performance. So my encouragement for you is to look at suspecting what your father, your mother, the founders, or your grandparents, or you as the next gen farmer, what are people really afraid of? And typically founding members of a farm in terms of transition are afraid of loss of wealth. They're also afraid of failure. And now as interest rates are starting to climb again, it's bringing back that money story. Remember what it was like in the 80s? What if the interest rates get really high again? Stop it. That's anticipatory worry. What you need to think about is having financial transparency and sharing with each generation what it is you're truly afraid of, because then you can start creating solutions together and talk about what you're going to do to manage your finances better. Another thing with farmers is they tend to love Roundup. They love a 10-day solution, that in 10 days there's a quick fix. They can see yellow, stuff is dying, crops are protected. Farmers typically have what we call in NLP, and I'm not an NLP master, but my friend Shelley Rose Charvet is, and she has a great book called Words That Change Minds. In neuro-linguistic programming, you talk about having away behavior. So farmers are avoiding things. And what they tell me when they ask for coaching is, Elaine, I only get one chance to do this succession transition thing. I want to make sure we get it right the first time. Well, newsflash, transition is a journey. So if you're a perfectionist, you're a procrastinator because you stop or don't do things unless you can do them perfectly right the first time. And what you need is a good team of advisors, a lawyer, an accountant, a financial planner, an investment broker, and a coach to help you facilitate navigating this journey that you're on. And the Chinese have a saying, the journey of 1,000 steps begins with a first step. The other problem is you have a lack of focus because you're out doing your operational stuff, you're working, and you say, we have no time to plan. All we have to do is work. Well, here's the deal. This is also called a polarity. And a polarity is a problem that never goes away. It just has to be managed. So you have to spend time planning, and then you actually have to act. You have to focus, and you have to execute. So let's look at some creative ways that you can block time and that you can start getting this conversation going and get out of the pain of not knowing. It's just like having a stick shift on the floor in your old half-ton on the farm. You're checking fields, and goodness, you can't get out of neutral because the gear shift is in neutral. It's not in first gear, and you're not moving anything. So how can we get you and your farm family into first gear? First of all, you have to figure out and write out, journal, what is it you truly want so that you can start expressing that to other people. And are you brave enough to be vulnerable enough to share with your family what's keeping you stuck because you're afraid? I used to be afraid of Wes, my husband, dying before my son Ian and his wife Kendra were able to take over management. And Ian is now 34. He's a lot more mature than he was at 24. And he's got 10 years of great experience under his belt with collaborative decision making with his father. So I'm not so much afraid about that anymore, but I still don't want my husband to die. And I hope he can be co-managing and collaborating in decision making for another decade at least. And he's 65. So where is it written that you cannot make decisions together? My other encouragement to overcome procrastination is you have to decide that this is really important to you to get decisions and agreements done. So the magical words that you're going to start using is by when. By when can we look at the cost of having a coach and facilitating some deep conflict resolution and communication building so we have a good foundation for making our transition plans? By when will we have a binder? And I have binder tabs that I can share with you if you just ask me for them, to break down all of the plans, because you're also procrastinating because you have a sense of anxiety and overwhelm. So the binder tabs are action items from your family meetings, which you're going to start having out of curiosity, and you're going to put dates to that. And you're not going to write it on a scrap of paper. You're actually going to start using your Google Calendar to block time and share that Google Calendar and invite other people to participate in that block of time. I've been listening to time management podcasts lately, and here's the deal. To-do lists aren't effective. Blocking time is. And we all know that Christmas is coming, and then it's Easter, and then it's planting, and then it's haying, and then it's crop protection. Oh, and then it's harvest, rye and barley early, and then the soybeans, and then the corn. And before you know it, it's Canadian Thanksgiving. And oh, there we go again. Now it's winter. Oh, now it's Christmas. And what's happened? You've procrastinated again, and a whole year has gone by. And many of you celebrating this year know and can remember Y2K, 2000. That was over 22 years ago, and you're not 21 anymore. So start using time blocking on your Google Calendar. Eat an elephant one bite at a time, and use the binder tabs of your insurance, your financial planner, your debt servicing, your accounting, all of the different advisors you have, your wills and estate tab, and start getting together a life binder that will help you start doing your transition planning. It's the journey of 1,000 steps, and it begins with the first step. The other thing you have to do is commit or find an accountability partner. That could be a coach, that could be your spouse, that could be the next generation. But one of the other things that really helps me get things done and to focus and execute is the idea of the Italian pomodoro. And a pomodoro is a tomato in Italian. And apparently in Italy, a lot of their kitchen timers are shaped like tomatoes because they make a lot of pasta and tomato sauce. I don't know. I've never seen one. I just know it's called a pomodoro. A pomodoro is a 25-minute unit of time. And very often I will take my smartphone, put my timer on, and give myself 25 minutes to do something. And there's a saying that work always expands to allotted time for its completion. So if you've only 25 minutes, what could you do to make your succession transition plan move forward? First of all, you could book time on your calendar for a family meeting. Another 25 minutes, you can sit down and really think about, what do I want for income stream? Where do I want to live? And what are my ideas for asking my next generation and my family about what fairness looks like to them? Another thing that you can do in 25 minutes is start your binder. I have a basket sitting on my desk right now of all my documents that need updating for my Because I Love You list and for my life binder. And I'm blocking time when I'm having time to myself to do that. The other thing that you want to do is reward yourself. Once you complete some of these steps, what's the payback? For me, it would be calling a friend, having tea at the Sawmill, which is a lovely Starbucks-like coffee shop in our small town, or it might be having a massage. Whatever is a reward to you, do that because it feels good to know that you're getting stuff done. Does this decision feel heavy, or does this decision feel light? Whatever it takes, you are going to focus and execute. You're going to start asking by when. You're going to build a life binder, and you're going to find an accountability life coach or someone to help you facilitate getting and breaking through your procrastination. And if any of you are anxious and depressed, I invite you to go to your doctor and get checked out. They have a scale, a 9-question scale that your doctor can ask you to diagnose whether or not you might be suffering from a low-grade depression, and that's keeping you feeling really lethargic and not wanting to focus and execute. I also heard it recently through the National Farm Mental Health Alliance that many farmers actually have ADHD undiagnosed, which means they love to be entrepreneurial and be independent because they can keep doing whatever they want all the time their own way. But what happens when you have to get things concretely in place with agreements and timelines, that form of being probably isn't serving you well. And you can find more by just Googling the National Farmers Mental Health Alliance. So I've given you some tips because I always say procrastination is killing agriculture and it needs to stop now. Please contact me at farmfamilycoach.com. Download the free tools and resources that I have for you. And in the ongoing year of 2023, we'll be interviewing guests, and I'd love to know which are your favorite podcasts. I've been on Farming for Profit and Working Cows. And if you want to see more of my work and live coaching there, just Google those names of the podcast, Farming for Profit and Working Cows, Elaine Phrase, and I'll be there to encourage you as well. And lastly, I'd like to be your coach every couple of weeks. If you go to my website at farmfamilycoach.com and sign up for my insights, I'll come to your inbox and I'll help you to keep taking the next step. Talk does not cook rice. We have to act. And this is the day that the Lord has made. Every day is a gift, and every day is a fresh start to make better choices. So I hope you'll find harmony through understanding and share all of these tips with your family so you can actually get her done. Bye for now.